low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Rich Mancuso, live on my YouTube channel. This is Keep It in the Ring, as always, on Thursday. Welcome in, my friends. It's Thursday night, November 20th, 2025. Like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rich Mancuso, at Keep It in the Ring. Facebook Live, also on Facebook, my page, like that. My social media handles at the bottom of the screen. X at Ring786, Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso. On Instagram as well at Mancuso786. And read my content, Latinosports.com and other platforms. And the boxing calendar, as always, scrolled at the bottom of your screen as we come to mid-November or late November and go into the end of the year with a lot of exciting fight action all over the place. And we're going to get to that in a moment in the next hour. And I'll be bringing in, as always, my esteemed colleague and producer here, Tommy D, TD Sports Talk. He'll be joining me in a moment. So let's get this started for this Thursday Night Live edition of Keep It in the Ring. And we have a special guest coming up as well later on in the hour. Well, we're going to have that super card, Ring 4 in Saudi Arabia. We'll run it down Saturday night on the Zone pay-per-view, including Benavidez and Yardy, and we'll get to that. And Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. Is this a mismatch? Tom and I will analyze that. Ben and Eubanks, is it over after their second fight over the weekend in London? And more. Plus, the wrestling report, and some UFC, and of course AEW Full Gear coming up this weekend, WWE Survivor Series, that picture getting much more clearer as we go into next weekend with WWE Survivor Series San Diego. We want you to like, comment, and as we go along, we'll get to many of those comments as possible here as we keep it in the ring. All right, so we turn our attention to Saturday night, and this is Ring 4. The Turk guy, Eddie Hearn, and a bunch of others put it together again for an exciting card of action. And, you have like 3-4 title fights on this card. The super card in boxing, as they're calling it. And, of course, this leads to the end of the year action with plenty of action going on in boxing in the month of December to end the year. But this one, Benavidez Yardy light heavyweight title on Saturday on the Zone pay-per-view. Haney and Norman for the 147-pound title. Exciting Abdullah Mason against, he's the WBO lightweight title, the vacant title up for grabs there. And Jesse Rodriguez and Martinez, bantamweight unification. And that's that's going to be a barn burner, and we'll talk about that. In December, you're going to have Pitbull Cruz coming up on PBC Amazon Prime against Lamont Roach. And you're going to have Sterling Lara and Jabanovic middleweights, and they're going to have Fulton Forster for Forster's unification, the junior lightweight title. Of course, Ring 5 will come up as well with Inoue, Japan's junior featherweight title defense. Many consider him perhaps the top pound-per-pound fighter today. And Diego Pacheco, the young superstar, 168, the young prospect on the move, on the Zone. That's what's coming up in December, a lot of action. But we're going to look at Saturday as boxing remains healthy despite what the skeptics say. They are fighting to the end, and I mean to the end of the year, to determine who is supreme in the sport. And we get to that part of the matter for Saturday night. Let me bring in my cohort, my colleague, my friend, my producer, Tommy D at TD Sports Talk. Bring him in. We'll talk it up about Saturday night's action in Saudi Arabia on Zone pay-per-view. Tommy D, are you there, my friend?
What's going on,
Rich? He is, all dressed in yellow tonight, bright. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Yeah, well, typical Rich Mancuso all week long since we last met last Thursday. Always in a little controversy and always in a jam. But I'm here. I'm ready to go with you as we continue to go on with Keep It in the Ring tonight. Tom, are you excited about Saturday night? Ring 4 in Saudi Arabia. Exciting. You got some of the top fighters in the sport on the card, including Benavidez and Yardy. Benavidez with the power. Yardy at 34 years of age. Probably not, his last chance to getting any type of opportunity to show what he's all about. Of course, he comes off losses to Kovalov and Benavidez and Benitez. He's got more big fights possibly ahead. He wants to make his statement some more. He's not going to go to cruiserweight. He wins. He could be the big name in boxing. Everyone's talking about that. Yardy is the from Britain looking to become a great at 27-3, 24 knockouts. He's a 10-year pro. He could counterpunch and stay with Benavidez. What are your thoughts on this one? That's the main bout Saturday night.
The main event is going to be a great one. I mean, the whole card in general is going to be really good. I'm excited. This may be the card of the year. That's why we titled it. Is it the card of the year? I mean, up and down, you've got, four great fights, and then you got a nice little undercard underneath that. Vito Milenicki's got a tough fight on his hands. I always like watching him. I've watched him fight in person. Up and down, this is a great, great card. Obviously, the big fight that everybody's talking about is not even the main event. It's Brian Norman Jr. defending his WBO welterweight title against, Devin the Dream Haney.
And we're going to get to that, but I want more of an analysis from you briefly. How do you see Yardy and Benavidez turning out? I see it going the distance. I see some great punching going on here. Yardy's also got some power and some good footwork. Benavidez, of course, with the power. What do you think is going to be the outcome of this?
I think this is going to be a great, great fight. I think Yardy is no slouch. It's like you mentioned before, this could be his last opportunity at getting a world title. He's fell short a couple times before. And I see Benavidez winning this fight with a late stoppage. Usually Yardy, he'll start off great, but the gas tank usually goes out, in the second half of the fight. So I got Benavidez winning probably like 8th, 9th round stoppage in this fight, but an exciting back and forth fight. Don't sleep on Yardy. He's got big power. He can punch. He's hurt guys like Benavidez. He was very close to stopping Kovalev. So this should be a banger. This is going to be a great, great fight, and that's why I guess it's the main event.
And he says, Yardy, that he's coming to win. Obviously, everybody's going to say that. And Benavidez says he's going to do what he always does, and that's finish off another opponent and make him be the man for boxing, the guy that everyone's going to be talking about. And I do believe that will continue Saturday night, and I think this is going to be a great light heavyweight title bout, Yardy and Benitez. But now we turn our attention to the other one, big one you just mentioned, Brian Norman, Devin Haney. Welterweight. Norman's a WBO title defense. Haney wanted Teofimo Lopez. Of course, we know the story there. Lopez would not go up to 147. Okay? And yes. Teofimo has his sight on the takeover at 140. So the division now is occupied with the WBA, having champions that, including Mario Barrios, a WBC champion who might have Ryan Garcia. They're setting that. It's all set. We'll talk that in a moment. Henny still the WBC junior welterweight champ in recess, whatever they mean by that. I'll never understand that.
Super lightweight. Yes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And Pitbull Cruz, the WBC interim champ. Tom, interesting fight. Henny with his dad, of course, Bill, who's always stirring controversy in the corner. He's got the footwork. They're stressing that. The speed. But his last fight with Jose Ramirez, we know how that turned out in Times Square, New York City in May, was a dud.
Yeah, listen, I mean, this is a very intriguing fight. You got one guy who's been a welterweight pretty much his whole career, and he is the world champion. And then you got another guy looking to make history, looking to get another championship in a third division, another weight class, in Devin Haney. I mean, you got experience against, I'm going to call it like this. You got experience against power, right? And, Brian Norman obviously has power, but he doesn't really have the experience. He hasn't really been tested. Devin Haney is say what you want about Bill. I know Bill rubs people the wrong way. I actually like Bill. I don't like some of his tactics, but I like Bill. I met him personally. He's a nice guy. I don't like some of his tactics, but I think he's great for boxing. But say what you want about him, his son is a hell of a fighter, and
Yeah.
I think experience is going to be the difference in this fight. I think it's going to be a very competitive fight, but I think Devin Haney wins in a unanimous decision. But competitive unanimous decision.
But he has to show better than what he did in Times Square in May, early May 1st, which was a dud with Ramirez.
Yeah, but I think it's
That whole
two
card,
different
you
two
know.
different fighters.
Yeah, well, let's look at Norman. You like Norman as well as
Yeah,
I do.
yeah,
28 and 0, 22 knockouts. He wanted Boots Ennis to unify, but that's not happening. But he's coming off wins over Derek Cuevas and Jim Sasaki this year. So he's got some momentum going, Tom.
yeah. No, listen, the knockout power is there. Here's the thing: the intangibles, right? Let's talk about the intangibles. Let's talk about the enemy. Let's talk one. He's never been on this big stage before. Being on main event under lights in a pay per view, this is his first time. And two, they're taking this fight very, very personal. And sometimes emotions take you away from the game plan and take you away from what you need to do in that ring. So that's why the advantage, in my opinion, has to go to Devin Haney. He's been experienced. He's been under the big lights before. He's been in this situation before. So I expect him to outbox Brian Norman. I wouldn't be shocked if Norman lands something and maybe finishes him. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and
boxing, right?
and it's boxing, right? It's possible. And here's the thing, Tom. You're gonna bring this up. I do believe Devin Haney has to win this fight.
But
I
what do you
mean,
mean have to?
well,
Okay.
my feeling is after Ramirez fight, he has to show, no matter how mediocre it might have looked and how bad it looked, he has to show something on Saturday night
Yeah.
against Norman. Norman is no slouch,
Mhm.
and I believe that this fight can define a lot about the real Devin Haney now.
Yeah. Listen, I think you're onto something, and I do agree. I think Devin, for the contract that he signed and what he's getting paid for this fight, yes, I do believe that. But if this is a close fight, a good competitive fight, and let's say Devin Haney loses, I think he'll be fine. I think he's got a good relationship with Turkey. It's Brian Norman, in my opinion, that probably needs to perform and show that he's the real deal. Because if he doesn't, what happens next for him? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he'll still be with Top Rank, but how far would that take him? Devin Haney will still continue to get big fights, in my opinion. He still's got the grudge match with Ryan Garcia. They can make big money there. And there's other people out there. So I kind of agree, but then I disagree at the same time. I think both fighters really have a lot to prove in this fight.
Okay, Tom. Basically, let's run down the rest of this. We have a lot to do. Abdullah Mason, you always liked him. And Noakes, Mason, 19-0, 17 knockouts. Possible future of that lightweight division off a fifth-round win this year. Noakes, 17-0, undefeated, 15 KOs. And that's the thing. This whole card, the main fights, everyone's got a zero. So someone's going to
Yeah,
go
everybody's
home.
got zero. It's,
Yeah.
it's title fights. I
Yeah,
mean,
and that's what's great about it. Briefly, do you like Mason or Noakes, and why?
like you said, I love Abdullah Mason, but this is not going to be as easy as people think. He may make it look easy because I feel like Abdullah Mason will win in a stoppage, but I think he's going to have to. There's going to be some moments in the fight where Noakes maybe come on and he's going to be in his face all night. I don't think Noakes is going to be
You
Abdullah.
like Mason?
He
You
may
like
land
Mason?
something. Hey, he may even drop Abdullah Mason,
It
and then
may,
maybe Abdullah Mason
and
comes back.
that's possible because
Yeah,
Noakes can deliver that knockout.
he's got
He's
pop.
got that. He's got pop
Yeah,
and he's got speed. I like him,
yeah.
but I also love Mason. I love his whole style,
I think
and you know.
the difference is going to be that reach. I mean, Abdullah's reach, his length is just overmatches Noakes, and I think that's going to be the
And
difference.
someone's going to
So
go home with a loss, that's for sure. They're both
yeah,
undefeated. This one I'm looking forward to. Jesse Bam Bam Rodriguez, 22-0, 15 knockouts. Second fight at 115. Impressive knockout. He's coming off Francisco Estrada with the body shot. WBC title and ring championship coming off the 10th round knockout in July. He's adding the WBO title also to that. Martinez with the WBA title holder, not recognized as much as Bam Bam. Both slugged Could this be one of those phone booth type of fights where they're just going toe to toe, punch for punch?
I think it could be. I think it's up to Bam. I think it's a good fight, but I think Bam is a far better fighter. I don't think Martinez is as good as advertised. Although I think he's going to come to fight, he's going to come to win. Like a lot of fighters from Argentina, that's what they do. They come to win and they come. But he's not really as big a puncher as people think he may be. I mean, he's got I think 9 knockouts, 18 wins, 9 knockouts. I think he's a big puncher. I think Bam wins this. Maybe there's a moment or two for Martinez, but I think Bam wins as he stops him. I got him stopping him maybe like in the eighth, maybe ninth round.
By the way, this entire card on the Zone pay-per-view begins 3 p.m. Eastern, if you're in Eastern time zone. Got to look at the times. Go to the Zone. Go to the Zone Matchroom Boxing page. They give you the exact times of all the ring walks. So it's going to be a long afternoon into night of boxing from Saudi Arabia. All right, Tom, so we look forward to this super card, Ring 4, Saturday night on Zone pay-per-view, title fight after title fight, undefeated records, and so forth, top fighters. The main event, though, the main one, Yardy and Benavidez. And now we go on to what we just saw this past weekend. So, the first loss went to Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank. Conor Benn, right. That was the father. But the father and son, they had their wars, and now the two sons didn't officially out of the first fight. Saturday in the UK, Conor Benn gets his redemption. No animosity as much as the first fight earlier this year. He just had everything going for him. No contest at all. Going back to 147 now, says Ben after this. Ben had Eubanks from the start, 2 knockdowns, and that final round ended it. They embraced afterwards, and that's what was nice to see. But that might have just been a formality because there's still that little animosity going back from their first fight. 119, 107, 116, 110, 118, 108, how the judges had it. Speed, power, and connecting. Ben was saying the whole thing now is over, no more with Eubanks. Eubanks said maybe something new, it was Ben's night. And I don't know where Eubanks goes from here. Conor Benn, though, looking at 147. Tom, briefly, what are your thoughts?
I thought this was a good fight, a great performance by Conor Benn. Probably the best I've seen Conor Benn. He showed that he could box a little bit. But, he was against a guy that looked like he was a little bit weight drained. I mean, Eubanks didn't look good from the beginning. I gave him 1 round. I think it was like the 3rd round. I thought he landed something well. And, even that round he might have lost, but that was probably his best round. He just looked very uncomfortable. It could have been the weight, which is weird because the first fight he looked tremendous. But maybe doing it a second time, he's really a super middleweight. But
as I said, I said last week it wasn't going to be like the first fight. And boy, was I right about that? It was nowhere near it. But he looked drained. Ben looked completely drained. Not Ben, but Eubanks Jr. looked completely drained. And you got to wonder now: does he continue or does he? But he's not. These two are definitely not going to mix it up again. That's it. No,
that's it. I think, and for Eubanks' health, he can't do it again. He can't, and it's going to be tough for him because what fights can he get as super middleweight? Right. That's where he's going to be most comfortable. But I don't know if he gets an opportunity at another big fight there. So Conor Benn is going to take the challenge and move down and weight. I think that's a mistake, but. He's a little younger.
Tom, what did you think of this, though? Because on social media, Ryan Garcia is being active again, very active. So after what fights, a couple of days later, he had to come out and say this on a tweet. He says, I'm up 2-0 on Eddie Hearn, would make it 3-0, head to the UK to fight you, Conor Benn. Ben and Ryan Garcia had a little tweet war the other day.
Yeah, it's pretty funny to see. It'll be, two guys that pop dirty facing against each other if that was to happen, right? Like it'll be the battle of the PEDs. Yeah. But but in all seriousness, that's a good fight. I like Conor Benn in that fight. I don't really think much of Ryan Garcia. I really don't.
Well, what do you think of this now? Ryan Garcia, and we'll go more. I think we'll go more into this a little later. Ryan Garcia announced yesterday it's official. He's headed to clash with Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. That coming up in February.
You know, I have a lot to say about this, but we only have an hour program, and I don't like it. I don't think it's right, and I'm really Suleiman's got to go. The WBC for giving Ryan the opportunity after he said he was going to suspend him or whatever the case may be, then he reinstates him. I think this is a complete joke. I think this is unfair. This guy has not proven anything to get a world title shot. And it's a Suleiman looking with the money because Ryan Garcia, sells a little bit. He's with Golden Boy, and I don't like it at all. And I'll just leave it at that. I hope Barrios wins this fight, but they're really trying their very best to give this guy a title, and he doesn't deserve it.
Well, and he's Ryan Garcia again. Will say time and time again, if he's going to amount to anything, to be known more, despite all his social media popularity and all that. Despite the fights he's had, Gervonta Davis and so forth, and made an awful lot of money, he's nothing until he has a title, and he doesn't have one.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, I'm as upset with this as being upset with Devin Haney wanting to fight him. Now, if it so happens that Devin Haney wins, because I picked him to win against Ryan Norman Jr., and Ryan Garcia does get the opportunity and does win, then okay, fine. Let's make it happen. Let's get a unification. But I don't think anybody should do business with this guy, Ryan. I just don't. I just don't like him. And I'm more upset with Suleiman giving this guy the opportunity. So
well, maybe you and I should do business with him. We'll make an awful lot of money, me and you.
Put me in the ring versus Ryan.
Yeah, keep it in the ring, as we say, right? So now Jake Paul has a new opponent, and we all know it's Anthony Joshua. Gervonta Davis, of course, we know that story. Won't rehash it again. And Jake Paul decides, everyone's coming after, wants a piece of him. You know what it is? He will make a fighter a lot of money. And this is a fight they've been talking about for the longest time. Eddie Hearn kept talking about it in the last year or so. But now he's got it. It's Jake Paul, and it's the cruiserweight against the heavyweight Anthony Joshua. Here it is. Paul, the underdog. And they're going to fight 3-minute rounds at 10-ounce gloves. It's going to count. December 19th, that's it. Casilla Center in Miami on Netflix. Going to make a lot of money. Of course, Joshua could come in at 250 pounds and Paul at the cruiserweight, so there ain't going to be that much of a difference, especially when you looked at it was going to be Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. But, Tom, do you have more of an interest now with Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua as opposed to him fighting Gervonta Davis?
I actually do. And I think this is crazy. I mean, there is a cap on this, I believe, or a restriction, or I think it's 245 is the weight limit for Joshua.
Well, then Joshua's not going to come in at 245. He's been coming in much slimmer in his last few fights.
Okay, but he can't go over. Yeah, he can't go over.
No.
And of course, I don't see how this fight lasts more than 2 or 3 rounds. I got AJ, destroying this guy. Unless there's some underneath the table type deal. I mean, he is getting $80 million.
It's still going to be a circus because it's Jake Paul.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll be talking about that in December in a few weeks. And here's Tommy Fury, who Paul lost to. His loss. And now him and Tommy Fury and Jake Paul going at it on social media. They all do this, every fighter. Back and forth. Offer me $15 million and I'll be there in 8 weeks. Paul said he offered all fighters a chance and Fury didn't say yes. You are not a man, you're a boy. I mean, that's Jake Paul. As much as he does good for the sport, he puts money into gyms and facilities for young people all over the country and in Puerto Rico, and of course the advocate for female boxing, propelling Amanda Serrano. He is the boy. He's the boy, because that's what he does. Yeah. And more so, if Jake Paul now wants to be considered one of the best, and wants to be considered a serious fighter contending for something despite being ranked 14th by the WBA. Jake Paul will need to win this fight, and many are saying Joshua, as I do believe, will annihilate Jake
He should.
Paul.
It should be. But like I said, we don't know if there's any underneath. Maybe he carries them for a few rounds. Who knows? I mean, is 80 million enough to take a dive? I mean, I don't know. It's
Let's
going to be
not
interesting.
let's not talk dives and all this gambling stuff going on in sports,
Yeah,
please.
I want to let you
All
know our
right.
guest is here a little bit early. If
All
just to
right.
let you.
All right. We're going to have Glenn Tappier on in a moment. Glenn, if you could just hang in there, we're going to get you. We have to run down some other stuff in boxing, and then Tom and I will get to you. So just watch, enjoy the show and the information we give, and we'll have you on in a moment. Glenn Tappier, an old friend, and just announced his retirement from the sport, be on in a moment with us. Tom, in the meantime, the WBO has said that Alexander Usyk, the heavyweight champ, no longer now undisputed. He has vacated his WBO heavyweight title belt. So here we go again. The heavyweight division, the face of boxing, not unified again. Usyk vacates the WBO, and we'll see where that goes. And the Turk guy out there in Saudi Arabia said Saturday that Anthony Joshua would fight in Saudi Arabia in February, followed by a big fight in London in September. My guessing is it's going to finally be Joshua and Tyson Fury in September if Fury says he's coming out of retirement. I expect that to happen, and that would be with Matchroom's Eddie Hearn. He's the promoter of Joshua. Quickly, Tom, your thoughts?
Well, as far as Usyk, I'm very surprised at this, but maybe he doesn't want any parts of Wardley because that's who he would have to fight next, and very, very, very shocked in this. But the guys at heavyweight at any division stay, not only unified but undisputed for a little bit because eventually, they relinquish the titles for whatever reason. So I'm not
And
happy with this, but
no. Because you don't have a unified heavyweight champ
yeah,
again. That's what it is. The face of boxing for so many years.
you're gonna
That's
get
what I
multiple
grew up
champions.
with. That's what I reported for years. And here we go again. No
Yeah.
unified heavyweight champ. And Joseph Parker, still in the heavyweight title mix, denies he tested positive for cocaine in his fight just a few weeks ago with Fabio Wardley, last month, in fact, where he was upset with a chance to fight Usyk. He was up the upset. He couldn't get Usyk now, but now it might be a step back because he's the allegations that he used cocaine prior to his fight with Wardley, where he was tested. We'll see where that goes. And we go more to the heavyweight division again because Richard Torres, this rising prospect heavyweight with Top Rank Boxing, keeps ascending to that top. Undefeated, 13-0, first round knockout over stoppage over the weekend over Thomas Selloff. He broke his nose. First round, it was over. That guy, Richard Torres, undefeated with a lot of power. And Tom, he's one of 8 heavyweights undefeated currently with the champ Usyk and Wardley also. The top ranked show still without a top rank without a streaming network as we report as we go towards the end of the year. There are your undefeated heavyweights right now. Richard Torres among them at 13-0. And that's an interesting division. It's still not unified as the face of boxing, Tom.
no, and there's some good heavyweights there. My favorite on here. I mean, I like Usyk, but I love Ajit Kabiel. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be the guy that might beat Usyk. I like him a lot. He's going to fight an undefeated guy. He is supposed to fight Kanimba, I think, in January, if I'm not mistaken. So you could mark off another undefeated guy at the end of January. Torres is up there. The guy below, I forgot his name. I can't really see it. He's the guy that beat Torres in the Olympics, and he also stopped Torres in the World Games. I think he's a Russian guy. I can't pronounce his name.
You know what? I don't. The thing here is I'm not looking forward to really a Joshua Fury fight because that should have happened a few years ago. And if it happens in Saudi Arabia, as the Turk guy said, would be in September. I want to see these young undefeated heavyweights. That's what I want to see, and I want to see what Usyk is going to do to try and become undisputed again. We'll see where that all goes in this heavyweight division. Now, Tom, we continue on the Eubanks card. Jay Catterall, he doesn't go away. Power, he had the power and he stopped Uko Usman in the 11th round. Same controversy as we get in boxing all the time. The drop to the knee was his opponent. The ref said it was no knockdown. Later, he was dropped to, again, a barrage of punches. It was over in round 11. But Jake Catterall continues at 32-2-0 with 14 knockouts, Tom. There's always hope, though, for this 32-year-old southpaw Catterall. And discussions are underway. He will fight the winner of the Haney-Norman fight this Saturday in Saudi Arabia. Your thoughts?
Interesting. That's interesting. I like Jack Catterall. I think he's a solid guy. I was talking about him on my show last week, and my colleagues and my co-hosts were roasting me, saying that he's not that good, and and they did knock on him is he doesn't throw too many punches each round. Like sometimes he could be inactive in rounds, but he looked really good. And I thought he was gonna. I didn't think he would stop the guy. I thought he was gonna win easily. And he did, So I like him. I think he's a worthy opponent. I think he's now working with Bozy Ennis now. I think is now.
Yes, he is right, so, and he just seems like he doesn't go away. He's a fighter. He stays with it. Even after a loss, he rebounds. And here we go again. Now he's in the picture. He's in the discussion. Norman and Haney, the winner of that. Tom, top rank again this past weekend. Rafael Espinosa's fourth title defense by knockout. Retains the WBO featherweight title over... he battered Arnold Kale in 10 rounds. Espinosa is now 28-0, 24 knockouts. The corner stopped this fight. Couldn't come out for the 11th. If you've seen Espinosa fight as much as I have, he's one of those fighters you want to see. He's action-packed.
He is, but we want to see him against our guy. I mean, maybe he's not your guy, but he's my guy. And he's been calling him out. And they're both on the same top. They're both with top rank. Shushu Carrington has been calling this guy out. Why haven't they got this set up yet?
Well, I think Carrington, because he had a setback, comes back in the new year, and then maybe they can get that discussion going with Top Rank. Also needs a streaming network to do that. They don't have one right now. So good point, though, Tom. And our friend Jan Santana, the featherweight from the Dominican Republic over the weekend, victorious, 16-0 now, fifth round TKO. Tom, this young man continues to get better and better at the Dominican Republic.
I like him, and of course, I got to admit, I'm a little bit biased because I'm with, I was with the team his last fight here in New York, and I'm good friends with his manager. Shout out to my guy Ricardo Figueroa. This is a good young man. He's promoted by Top Rank and by Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto is the one that found him in DR, brought him to Puerto Rico. He trains out in Puerto Rico in Bayamon, and I like him, man. He's out there and straightforward fighter. He's got a good jab too. He can box, but he's a very powerful guy, and he wants to fight. And it was, I like the fact that he called out Shushu Carrington in the last fight in Madison Square Garden. So I'm very high on Jan Santana. He's still a prospect right now, but he's top 10 right now, I believe, in the WBO.
Now we'll continue to update on his progress, see what he does next in the new year. And today, Mike Carpenter of The Ring reveals this: Subriel Matias adverse an adverse finding for PED substance abuse in a VADA test. His WBC junior welterweight title defense versus Dalton Smith now scheduled for January, I think, 11th in New York at Barclays Center. That's in jeopardy. He has 10 days now to request testing for B sample. So here we go again. A guy I thought would never get involved with something like that when I heard that.
He tested positive for Ostarine. That's what they're saying, because he's volunteered with the VADA testing, and I'm very shocked and disappointed. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Subriel Matias.
So am I. I was looking forward to him again.
The B sample is going to be the same, so it doesn't matter. It's
him and Dalton Smith. Now we got a lot of comments coming in, and we're rushing through all this news that came in the past few days. Bear with us. We'll try and get to it. Finally, before we get to our guests waiting patiently, Edgar Berlanga. Look at Edgar Berlanga. I saw him Saturday at Citi Field. Dominican Republic All-Stars against Puerto Rican All-Stars baseball. Berlanga is a very big baseball fan as well. I'm very proud of Puerto Rico. We know that. So here he is, throwing out the first pitch with his son at Citi Field Saturday. Did pretty well, and, I didn't get the chance to talk to him, and I don't know if Edgar Berlanga really wants to talk to me. But
I don't know if Berlanga wants to talk to anyone right now.
Yeah, but he spoke to a few of the writers there that cover baseball from DR and Puerto Rico. And it was nice to see him do that with his son, and So I thought I'd show that to everyone. All right, Tom. Let's get to our guest waiting patiently in the cube and bring him on. And I'm glad he's here. Late
Okay.
edition. He was coming on late tonight. I didn't know he was going to come, but he gladly accepted the invitation. I know him a long time. Saw him when he was an amateur, later as a successful pro. Glenn Tapia from Bergen County, New Jersey. Used to be with Top Rank. Champ.
Passaic County, brother.
Passaic County. Yep, that's right. The Jersey boy would know that better than a Bronx boy. That's for sure.
There you go.
Champ, welcome to the program. It's just a pleasure to talk.
Thank you guys for having me.
It's just a pleasure to have you on the program with me and Tommy D. You had a successful career that came to an end. You made that decision just a week or so ago. Why did you do that? You were with Top Rank, finished at 25-5 with 17 knockouts. You're 34 years old, right, Champ?
35.
35. All right, I want to rush your years. You have a lot left.
Right.
Not from a guy like me who's at the end of his career and all that. Champ.
You just beginning, brother. Chill, man.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. And Tom, jump into the discussion.
Hey, hold on. I want to say something about the Jake Paul with the.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that with you, but go ahead.
Okay, well,
Go ahead.
I think it's all a skin, it's all entertainment, of course, but I think this is the actual fight with this guy, because there's no way that like Joshua gonna, if he loses this fight or if he does some bullshit, he gonna miss out on the opportunity with the Fury fight.
Yeah.
I know.
So there's no way, you feel me? This has to be a fight. This is gonna be
Do you
crazy, but I think he's gonna knock him the hell out. But
do you take Jake Paul seriously?
with the last fight, he was trying to fight Gervonta. That was a clown show, of course.
Yep.
But you got to take him serious, man. First of all, he's is a clown show with him, but he's really trying some things, and he's bringing more attention to boxing. So I don't even know what to think about it. At the end of the day, as a promoter, fight, the more attention to boxing, the more money the fighters get. So it is what it is. I don't really
Yeah,
care.
they're definitely making more money than you made in your career. No disrespect, you made some money, but not like they're doing today.
That's
Everything has gone to this point where streaming networks and cert. Glenn Tapia just announced just a few days ago, if I'm not mistaken, you're
Yes, sir.
retiring from boxing. What made you come to that decision? Why did you do that?
God, God, honestly, man. I guess it was. I gave my life to Jesus Christ. Last May. I gave my life to Christ last May, and since then I gave my life to Christ about like 8 times. I lost faith, gained faith, lost faith, and it was just that was a battle. But I'm gonna say October something. Middle of October. I had this moment. I guess an awakening or whatever it is, and I realized that it was a lot. It was like visions and all this stuff, and it was amazing, man. It was but it was a lot of brutal truths, and he told me I had to stop, kind of bluntly told me I had to stop. It was kind of harsh, but it was real, and I understand it was him. So, I decided to really make that decision. At first, I was trying to fight it, and then things kept going wrong. I finally made the decision. Let's stop, man. He wanted me to go this route, and once I did, the doors open. See, the thing is, I'm really blunt and I'm really honest. Most people are not honest, and the truth is that I've been boxing all my life. I've been boxing since I was 8 years old. I got kicked out of my middle school. I got kicked out 8th grade, so I didn't even go to high school. So it's like I don't really got that much education. Of course, I'm a smart guy, but I got a lot of wisdom because of all the pain I've been through in life. But I don't really got education. So, but then as a professional, I've been boxing all my life. So I never had a real job. I never really did anything. I never was out in the society, I'm gonna guess. And now to retire now as a man, as a grown man, it's really like I gotta enter back to society. It's kind of really like it's really crazy.
The transition,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like I gotta be a human. I gotta be a normal. And then it's like it's really hard transition, man. Because it's like I feel like a little kid coming into the world. Growing up in the world.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
straight out, are you leaving healthy? Are you
Yes,
okay?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
Thank God. Thank
Okay.
God. No,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
God. Of course, man. I've been getting, people don't understand, man. We're when we're fighting, we get punched in the head like all the time, and that brain shaking all the time. And then it's not just the fight; it's like 3 days a week we're sparring, sparring, sparring. And the
Spawn, yep.
sparring matches be more harder than the fights, and it's more entertaining than the fights. So it's like people don't get how much damage that is. So thank God, I say thank God, man, that I am healthy.
Hmm. So
Yeah,
let
Tom.
me just ask. So like you're retiring. So getting work now. You want to work and stay in boxing, maybe as a
Now,
coach, trainer, advisor.
I actually wanna, I feel like I didn't completely fulfill what I wanted to in boxing. So
Hmm.
it's like I did. People look at me like, "Oh my God, you did a lot," but I don't feel like I fulfilled what I wanted personally. It's like I wanted to be great, and I feel like I didn't become that because of personal, like, just taking for granted certain things and just going through so much in life as a young boy. It's like I turned pro when I was 18, and just once I turned pro, I was talking about that, like I got signed when I was 18.
Hmm.
And once you start making money, you first of all, I was in the streets all my life. I was literally out there wilding.
Yeah.
And then I changed that. So once I started making money, it's just like I just didn't listen to nobody. Anybody. It was like nobody could tell me nothing. So I just like I've been by myself since then. So it's like a lot of mess ups, a lot of I just didn't know how to handle money. I didn't know how to handle anything. I just was doing whatever they told me, and it is what it is. So I didn't have no team. I didn't have a real team, and that is so valuable. Is
Yeah.
when a team is needed, like a strong man to be there behind you and tell you, no, no, it's this way. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Do it
Yeah.
like this. We need that as men, and I didn't have that at all. So it was just I was kind of by myself, and it was like a lot of fuckers losing it all, getting it back, losing it all again, getting it back. There's a lot of ups and downs, and then you guys know this is a really unstable life, and that's really hard, man. When you have kids and you live in life, it's really hard. So I'm just saying that I'm just happy I'm healthy, brother.
Mm. Nah, thank God. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, yeah,
You
You
know,
were. Go ahead, Tom.
no, I was just say, I mean, it's funny that you mentioned about, it's very important to have a good team around you. So, like, I don't know if you did. Sorry, Rich, I'm going to do a cheap plug here, but I do a show on Sundays where it's called Tales from the B Side, where we talk about fighters and we bring them on and they give us their stories of like them not just being on the B side, but coming on and telling us what they had to go through, some of the BS that they go through in boxing, behind the scenes. And they tell us each one is consistent, and they say it's very important to have a good team, because if you don't have a good team, you get taken advantage of in this sport and in this
yeah,
business. It is a sport, but it's also a business. So I would love to have you on that show as well, by the way, because you have an interesting story as well. You know what I'm saying? So, but I wanted to bring, like what you said, as being having a good team is very important, in
yeah.
this business.
Really is one of the most important things, man. Most of these guys that you see that are successful is because they have a team around them.
Hmm.
People that care, like
Yeah.
especially a strong. And when you're so young, when you're from the streets and you're so young and you're 18, man, just signing a contract at that age. I don't know these people. I don't know nobody. I'm lucky. I got lucky with Pat Lynch. He's a good person. He's a good hearted person.
He's a legend in your
Yes.
area and
Yeah.
in the sport.
He's a good
Yeah,
hearted person. So
yeah, and you were with Top Rank most of your career.
yes. Yes. So
Now,
I went to go spar Manny Pacquiao in 2010 in the
hmm
Philippines before he fought
Mm.
Margarito. And then
hmm
and then I was over there, and then Bob Arum saw me spar Pacquiao a couple of days, and then he just signed me on the spot right there. Bob
Wow.
Arum.
and you had some great fights, some great opponents. If you go down your record
Yeah,
here of 35, 25 and 5, 17 knockouts, which you were good at. I covered many of your fights in the local area and beyond. I remember Gabriel Rosado,
yeah,
who's
yeah.
still
That
fighting.
was yeah, that was my last fight. That was my. I
Yeah,
was
you won by,
20.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
thing. I was
yeah,
I was 20. I was 20 and 0 before I fought
yeah.
Kirkman.
Yep.
and then
And
all
you
the
went in there with Rosado, and you even had David Lemieux.
yeah,
We know
yeah,
about him at middleweight here, and Daniel Dawson. And go down the line. You saw some James Kirkland. You go back to
yeah,
that one back in 2000, I believe
13.
13. See,
Yeah,
and so you've got quite a resume,
yeah,
and you were in there, and you went in there with a knockout in mind all the time.
yeah, yeah,
And Glenn Tapia, I knew that because I saw it. You had a ferocious punch, my friend.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's something that I had. I always had that, and but when I worked really hard. Like I worked really, really hard. So when I went in there, I went in to kill people. I
Yeah.
just wanted to go in and entertain and stuff. But the thing is, I wasn't consistent with the work, and we all know when if you're not consistent with it, it's gonna break through. And then life, man, life is really is man when like I said, when you don't have a team and you don't have a team of people around you, life could get really
Yeah.
tough. You don't have nobody to guide you, and
Oh, and you got
like
to look now at after because now you're out of the ring
yeah,
and answer this question as honestly as you can. Are
right.
fighters taken care of once they hang up the gloves for the last time?
No,
I'm no. And why is that? We have a Muhammad Ali Act that Dana White and them over there with their new league, they want to overturn that act. That's for the safety and protection of the fighters. Why don't you guys who put if it weren't for you and all the others, there'd be no boxing. Okay? Simple as that. We know that. You guys go in there, it's a risk every time you go in the ring. All right? Why are fighters not taken care of when they're done? I mean, they got the Hall of Fame. That's another story. That's just the Hall of Fame. Why aren't they taken care of? What have you found out about that?
it's just we're literally by ourselves, man. Like we're as a fighter, you're like your own business in a way. It's like so now most of these fighters that we're uneducated. We're from the hood, and we don't really understand anything. So we just sign the contract and we just fight. Whatever the person or the manager tells us to do, we do. So it's like, as a young person, we don't got like, if you don't have a team, a person behind you telling you what to do, we really don't understand anything. So we could get taken advantage a lot of, and it's like money and things. We don't know what we're signing. I don't know what I signed when I was 18. Like I said, luckily I was with Pat Lynch, and I got lucky. You understand? But even then, like I didn't know him. This was strictly business. But like after him knowing me for years, we ended up having a good bond. But still, it's not. He didn't like me like he loved the son. That he didn't take care of me like he would this son. So it's like, yes, he was a very good person, and thank God I got with him. But we don't know each other. That's just the truth. So it's like there's no way that he could really like me and really love me or really care about me. Like it's life, man. So it's like we don't understand. So we don't have like I'm one of the guys that grew up, and I end up having a lot of wisdom. I end up like looking at life differently. But I see a lot of these guys, man, that get taken advantage of, and just and they're literally fucked up, man. During this, man, they end up just messed up, and nobody cares about them, man. And they're literally like they don't know what to do because now they don't have no help at all. Nobody helps them at all. So now they don't know what to do because they've been boxing all the time. So
Yeah.
now they're not boxing, and now nobody cares about them. Luckily, like I got a little voice and I'm a little famous. I got into being famous online, a little bit more because of my personality. But a lot of these guys don't got nobody, and so they don't even
Yeah.
got nobody to go out there and talk to. So now when they do retire and stuff, when nobody talks to them, they're getting one like. They're gonna know, you feel me? Nobody cares, and now
Yeah.
they don't got nobody to get advice from. I'm
What do you
lucky. I got
want to
somebody.
do? What champ? What do you want to do now that it's over? Do you want to
Um,
train? Do you want to go in the gym
no,
and help any?
no,
What
no,
what
no.
have you?
I want to like me personally. I want to I know it sounds crazy, but I want to go completely get out of boxing completely, and I want to become great at something else. And then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna for sure do that. But then I want to also help children, man. I want to help the kids, man. I want to mentor kids and stuff, because a lot of us we need help, man. And I feel like I could speak to kids a lot,
Yeah,
like I
this
don't
is
judge them.
You did that. That would be great, especially
Yeah,
coming from an experienced pro like you. What
yeah.
you've done, the experiences and all that. All credit to you to get that done, and we're here to help you as you seek this new journey now, retiring from the ring. You finally. And Tom, interject again if you have to. Champ, this Glenn Tapia. The state of the sport today is boxing in a good position right now, and what has to be done if not to improve it.
Right now, I think it's the best that there's ever been. Really, at the end of the day, think about it. If you think about it, man, how much attention is in boxing right now? Everybody's like YouTuber about or boxing. Everybody's boxing more than any other sport. If you think about it, like everybody pays attention to boxing, and it's become cool. Oh, hold on, mama. Hold
I
on, let me
hear her.
talk.
You can bring her in the picture if you want.
Come over here, real quick. Come over here, Isaac. That's
We'd
my son.
love,
That's my son, Isaac.
yeah, we'd love to. We'd love to see him. Go ahead.
Come here, Isaac.
Your
Come here.
proud father there, Glenn
Bro.
Tapia, former
Yeah.
middleweight, announces retirement.
Say what's up.
There you go.
What's
Hey,
up?
what's up?
Yeah. What's good, champ?
Yeah, say you want to
Yeah,
show them how you fight? Show them. Show them.
That's
Hold
a
on.
first on Keep It in the
Hold on.
Ring. That's a
Hold on.
first.
yeah,
Fight,
that's
fight,
true.
fight, fight.
Let's go.
There you go.
Future
The
champ.
future
Right there.
champ. Now,
Don't you- don't you-
and that's interesting. What if your young boy
Yeah.
decides I got to put on the gloves and I got to do what Daddy did?
Okay. Okay. Is it fine? I'm fine with that. He's already. He already wants to do it. Kind of. He just always punching. He got gloves. He got little gloves. He always
Yeah,
punching. So he's punching the walls all day. So and he's moving and stuff. So he's only 3 years old. So I can't really stop that. I feel like got the hunger in his soul.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what? So what? So you're keeping. I'm sure you have a lot of friends in the sport that you made over the years,
Yeah.
and I'm sure they were former champions and maybe some of the current guys that are out there now. Do you have a fighter that you're looking at right now in particular that could be the future of this sport and good for the sport?
Future of the sport. Oh man, that's tough.
Don't say Jake Paul.
Nah, nah, definitely not. Gervonta's the future, definitely. He's the most talented one right
Even what
now.
he's been going through, Javante,
Yeah,
through all
yeah,
the
his life,
domestic
man.
violence, do you
His
think
life.
Javante Davis will rebound after all this?
Look at Mike Tyson, man. Come on, stop.
Yeah, good
It's
point.
just, it's
Tom,
just,
that's a very good point. We
That is
never
a good
brought
point.
that up.
I want to follow up. I want to follow up because to your question about the way the sport is. You're Dominican, correct?
yes, sir.
How do you feel about the Dominicans now that are fighting? There's more talented Dominican fighters I think now than it was, and they're getting good spotlight, good getting paid. So like we just mentioned, Jan Santana, who I really like. You got Rohan Polanco, De Los Santos. I mean,
Yeah, the
you got
Dominicans,
some
but the
good
thing is
Dominicans
that,
out
that
there.
there's always been Dominicans behind the scenes, really, but they just don't get shine because the truth is Dominicans don't really support boxers like that, man. If we was to be back him up, like like the Puerto Ricans back him up, it'd be
Yeah,
crazy, or like Mexicans back him up, it'd be crazy. But I always knew that Dominican, I can't go that route because it's just they don't support us.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
you're right. But I think now, in the last 5 years, there's been more
yeah,
Dominicans showing up in the garden, supporting the guys. I mean, Rohan Polanco got a big following. I don't know if you follow Rohan Polanco, but
no,
he's Dominican. He trains in Florida, and
okay,
every time he comes to the garden, there's a big Dominican fan base for
yeah,
him. So
that's what's
he's
I
really
feel like
huge.
it should be promoted more. Like, and then
Yeah,
like, why are the media's not promoting it? Like when they have when he got that crowd there, they should promote that, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like
Yeah.
they will promote it if it was Puerto Rican. If it was Puerto Rican, they
well,
promote that. The view, the camera would be on the Puerto Rican flags. But like now,
Uh,
Dominican flag, they don't really put that.
I'm not
that's
getting.
the thing.
I'm
So
not
with you
getting
being
involved in that.
Yeah, but with you
I'm not getting
being
involved in
with
that.
Top Rank is known to do that. So like, there's been fighters that have been Dominican and Puerto Rican. Subriel Matias is half. He's
Yeah,
Dominican and Puerto Rican, but they
yeah.
don't talk about the Dominican side. And I know fighters personally that Top Rank says, "All right, you're Puerto Rican," even though they may be mixed. I mean, what you're
The
saying
thing is
is
that
correct.
that's it. It's just real. It's just the fact. Like it's like
Yeah,
even if they get a little bit of fan, the thing, and then the thing is too the like even though they get Dominican, like Dominicans that come from America, that's cool, but they don't get the whole country over there.
Yeah,
At this point.
Mm.
That's the
you're right.
thing. That's the difference. Like when a Puerto Rican fights, even though he gets Puerto Ricans over here, he gets this whole country in Puerto Rico too to
Yeah,
view that fight. So
that's
that's
true.
why
That's
maybe
so true. Even the
yeah.
Mexicans as well.
The Mexicans,
Glenn
the Mexicans
Tapia,
over here and the Mexicans over there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
This
true.
has been fantastic talk, and I'm so glad you came on a late arrival, but you did it, my friend. And this has been great discussion, and we have to keep the line of communication going. Me, you, and of course Tommy D. How do fans stay in touch with you, champ?
Real Glenn's Happy on Instagram, and then just Glenn's Happy on Facebook. You know, you
Okay.
All
can
right.
get me.
Now, one other thing before you go, because every guest who comes on the program, it's not trivia. We do fact of the week. You're
Uh
going to
oh.
take a crack at it and see what you do. Tom, once
I
again,
do
before
bad
you.
with tests for some reason. I don't know.
No, this isn't trivia, and this
I
is
can't
going to
get
be.
these either. So
This is easy. Here it
Okay,
is.
okay.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Box. It's about, and you had one. I remember it well. Boxing ring entrance songs. Okay. Can you name the number one boxing entrance song? Ring entrance song. And you had one, and I remember it well.
Oh, damn, number one.
Number one.
I don't know. Eye of the Tiger, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, well, you got it.
Yeah.
Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, Eye of
I
the
was gonna say the
Tiger.
Rocky theme, but yeah, that
Right,
that.
yeah.
And
Look at that.
see that? You said you couldn't get it.
See that shit?
You're
Yeah.
because you're the champ. And number two, all right, was Gonna Fly Now, also from Rocky.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got it, but
There you go.
you got the, unfortunately, champ, I can't give you
but
any. I can't give you anything for getting the fact of the week.
I'm logging off. I'm logging off. Fuck. I'm logging off, man.
What was your ring entrance song? You
I
had one.
forgot. I forgot. I think I had one for Jersey on fucking what's this guy name?
Oh, I'm going to tell you one that I remember. It's
Go
one
ahead,
of the
go ahead.
ones you came out once with Eye of the Tiger.
I did one time, but then there was another one. I forgot what the hell it was, man.
You'll think about it.
Was
Tom,
it Bon Jovi? It was one with Bon Jovi.
but Tom, put him up with that championship belt. I want him to go out in style. Show him that champ. You
Which
got
one
that
is it?
image.
Which
You have an image of Glenn Tapia with a championship
yeah,
belt.
Yeah.
I mean, put that up.
There you
Take a
go.
look. There you go. There's a young Glenn. Can you remember that? I don't remember when that was.
That was in China. That was in China when I fought on HBO on China.
Yeah. Okay.
Macau,
Yeah.
China.
See, and there you are.
Under
So
15.
you were a champion. See, so you can't. No one can take that away from you. No one can take away a championship from Glenn Tapia, who was a
I
great
won
middleweight.
two titles. I won two titles.
Won two titles, and you
Won
fought
Rumble.
some. You had some very good fighters. You were in the ring with. Over how
Yeah.
many years of a career was it altogether?
17 years.
17 years is long enough,
Yeah.
my friend. I can't go 5 minutes in the ring, and you went 17 years.
Hold on.
How do you like that?
Hold on.
What?
Oh, yeah, probably.
He probably had a problem. All right, listen, he got the fact of the week.
Somebody might have tried to
Yeah, but
He'll be back.
well, I want before we go to break, and we have a lot more to do. I want to see if we can. Is he
My
back?
bad, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, right. All right, champ. I don't know what happened, but your time is up anyway. But you got yourself off.
Damn,
I
Rich.
don't want.
Jesus.
Damn, that was so. Damn, no, you can't give me.
Ave Maria, man. Why he got to do that
No.
to you?
You can't.
I-
After 2 minutes, son.
I have more show to do. And-
you already gave me my money for winning that show that trivia question. You know you can't give me another extra minute.
Go ahead. What do you else want to talk about? We'll just attention sponsors. We're running overtime because I got a champ, Glenn Tapia.
Y'all want to come DM me, Glenn Tap, real Glenn Tap on Instagram if y'all want to pay me some money, sponsors.
There you go.
Now,
Well, how about this?
We'll be
Hey,
in
thank
touch.
you,
I
guys.
definitely.
Listen, champ. Tommy D will have you on his show, and I'm going to have you on more often. How's that?
Okay, you can do that, brother. You already know.
And then we'll
Take care.
talk.
I
And
appreciate
you got to think about doing a book, maybe a book about your career, a documentary, because it was a good one. I lived through
you.
it. I saw most of your fights. I covered many of them. And I got to tell you, God bless in your retirement and all the best to you and your family as Glenn Tapia says goodbye to boxing for now.
Thank you, God.
And it was a great career that you had, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It was, okay?
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate
And
that.
keep it in the ring, and I'll be in touch with you. We will talk when the show goes up. I'm going to send you a quick text,
All right,
okay? And
All right, you guys take care, guys.
keep it
All
in
right,
the
brother.
ring. Thank you, Tom. He was great, and I'm glad
Yeah,
he
he's
came
great,
in as a late addition. He got the fact of the week too.
He had a
And-
great career. I mean, he was fun to
Yeah, he
watch.
did.
I mean,
He did.
was
He
in a lot of
was.
firefights.
I covered a lot of his amateur fights, and then he became a pro with Top Rank, and I saw a lot of him. Fought in the Garden a few times, in Jersey a lot, and all over. I mean, he's been all over the place, and it was time to say goodbye to boxing, and he did it in style. But I think he's going to be an asset to the many youngsters coming into the sport who want a career, and he'll give them the right advice. You need more like him. He's got a lot of old school in him as well. Need more like him. All right. Thanks again to the champ, Glenn Tapia. Tommy D and I, Rich Mancuso, back more for Keep It in the Ring. The pro wrestling coming up. Nostalgia. We got a lot more to go here. Like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rich Mancuso. Facebook page live. Like that page. Social media, Ring 786 at X and Twitter and whatever. Whatever. I'm Rich Mancuso. That's Tommy D, TD Sports Talk. Keep it in the ring. Back in a moment, live on my YouTube channel. Stay with us for this after this brief time out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Thanks to our new sponsors, courtesy of String Punk Entertainment and my buddy Scott Churston, who puts us all together for me and Tommy D at TD Sports Talk. Thank you all also for any comments that came along. I think we bypassed. All right, let's put a few of them up.
I'll give you one. You'll appreciate this. You know, BVO, one of your favorite people that you met here when BVO came. He says, "You're doing a great job carrying me every week."
He says that to me every week.
Every week he tells you this, and then he also said that he blames me for giving the steroids to Sabril Matias.
That's coming from him. All right.
So that's BVO. But there's been comments as we've been going along.
Any others of that are worthy? They're all worthy, but
Sports has been in here, giving his takes on some of the things you said in the fights. So everybody's been over here pretty much saying hello and what's up to us. So shout out, BLTV's been in here. Boxing Source. It's another one here.
Good. And folks, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want you to do that. If you like the program, you like Tommy D, you like me, subscribe to my channel, Tommy's as well, and String Punk Entertainment. So we got more? Any more before we move on?
Oh, there's been plenty, but I've been putting it on the board for everybody to see. So as we're coming up, so I don't know how much longer I can go today because of the laptop, but we got a lot to go through. So.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll try. And Tommy's the technician here. He does such a great job for me each and every week. Let's get to the MMA talk. We got to go over this because at Madison Square Garden, UFC. I don't know what number it was. They give numbers to these things, 321 or whatever it was. And it was sold out, Madison Square Garden. Dana White made a big thing about that again. The two-division champion, Matrov, 5 rounds. Makadorov, regardless. Welterweights were on display here. He wins the title, a unanimous decision. And again, it was he smothered Della Maddalena. Mostly on the floor was this type of technical encounter in the octagon. But Makarov was in control from the beginning, and Dana White would not comment about the new two division champ here in UFC fighting at the White House on the lawn. Put that photo of Dana White up because he's always with the media afterwards and gets a ton of information and gets very, very, you got to be careful how you approach him. UFC event at the White House in the July 4th holiday. And I don't know, Conor McGregor rumored to be on that one also. But this time again at UFC in Madison Square Garden, over 20,000. They're popular. We don't talk UFC enough on the program because we keep it in the ring, not the octagon. But you got to admit, Tom, UFC is really, really popular.
I mean, people like it. I personally am not a big UFC guy. I'll watch it if there's nothing else to watch. I'll firmly believe so. I don't really follow it as much, but but they're doing good numbers. I mean, they're doing good gates. I don't know what they're doing on TV, but they seem to sell out wherever they go. So that's all I can say about that. I'm not a UFC guy. You know what I'm saying?
No, well, no, I
I'm
do
Dana
because
White guy either. So.
Yeah, well, I'm not a Dana White guy as well. That's why I don't work for them. But you got to admit they do really well. And again, 20,000 at the Garden. It was buzzing. I had new people that were there. And they limit press access as well. They don't give many credentials out to their events. That's another thing. So, and that's not good. They should, but they don't, especially in a market like New York. But anyway, let's get to the pro wrestling, Tom. A lot of that, including this weekend. Saturday, payperview.com and Max. It's pay-per-view. It's AEW Full Gear, Prudential Center, Newark, New Jersey. And quite a card lined up again for Tony Khan and AEW. Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe. We don't have to see that again for the world title. That's coming up. Chris Statlander, Mercedes Moné. For the women's title, and she's looking for another title, Monet. She's got like 13 of them. Brody King Bandito versus FTR for the tag titles. That's a $200,000 tag match. Will be on the pre-show and to crown the inaugural NIL champ, they call it, or a national champion. $1 million prize if the Young Bucks lose. Win rather. Kyle Fletcher. Mac Briscoe, TNT title, Pac against Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, and Crazy Jon Moxley against Kyle O'Reilly. I think they added something else off Dynamite last night. They just do so many things awkward in that group. And Tony Khan again says they're doing real well. Tom, their ratings are abysmal. They only get 220,000 for a Dynamite show, maybe top 400, 500,000, and maybe those figures might be exaggerating. And another thing, if you watch AEW, I think fans could agree with me. Not only is it brutal, especially the pay-per-views, and Tony Khan on his audio call this week downplayed that, said we're not being as brutal as we once were, but we are wrestling. That's what he says. And he also... No, he also claims that they're doing really well, and frankly, they're not. If you look at their arenas, they're empty. And when you watch them on TV, on TNT or TBS for their two shows, there's no crowd reaction. They're dead. They're dead.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how they do. They're going to be in the East Coast in Newark. Usually East Coast, New York, New Jersey.
They do that at Newark every year, and they're coming back to the Manhattan Center in mid-December. Collision and Dynamite, because it's a smaller venue, which they want to do. I have nothing against them except the fact that again AEW goes in 30 million directions with their angles and their storylines, and they don't build up storylines good enough. So that's my thing about them, and they will never surpass WWE.
I think they should do what ECW used to do. They should wrestle more in the Manhattan Center because that's a cool place for wrestling matches. I mean, I've been there a couple times for ECW, and I've been for another independent show before. So Manhattan Center is a really nice place. It looks packed when you do fill it up, and I believe they can fill it in Manhattan Center. So it looks bigger than what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it look like they got a big packed audience. Maybe not, but I think they should do more events at the Manhattan Center.
I agree. They were doing smaller venues, then they're going into the bigger ones again. And let's face, they have to economize and they have to downsize because even though Tony Khan says they're doing well, they're really not. They're not. I can't believe it. When Tony Khan can talk, he'll out-talk someone. But
he's got a lot of money, so maybe
his father, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's where he gets the money from.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens at Full Gear Saturday, Prudential Center, where I'm not going, where you're not going, because we're going to be watching the big fights from Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, the ring walk for Benavidez and Yardy should be 9 p.m. Eastern. But it's going to start, the whole card's going to start at 3 p.m. Eastern.
The whole card is good. I'm watching everything.
Let's go back to the wrestling and look at the group that, WWE. They continue to do well. John Cena's farewell. Looks like it's going to be Gunther. He won his latest match in the tournament to determine his final opponent. And it looks like Gunther, Cena is that Grand Slam champ. Gunther wants that the Intercontinental title back. He'll get it. He's back. But here's what Monday Night Raw was great at Madison Square Garden as well. Yeah. Sold out. Crowd was into it, very loud, and it's because of this. Dom Mysterio and Cena. And then jumping into the picture, do you have that picture of Scooteroo? Is that his name from the Giants?
Scatterboo.
Scooteroo.
Yeah. For the Giants, yeah.
And a Giant, couple of the others were there. And I think one of the injured, another Giant player who's in controversy, but a team that's losing. And this guy's injured, seriously injured, recovering, rehabbing, and he's getting involved in a WWE script. This caught a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Monday night and afterwards, all over talk radio, especially in the New York area.
Yeah, because he took a bump.
What would have happened if Mysterio pushed and shoved him like that, and he fell down? And
I was very shocked.
It's very stupid. Now. Yeah. Scoobaroo or Scooteroo, whatever his name is. Scatterboo. Well, Scat. Right. Tom, he says that he's got a marketing deal with WWE, and that's why he was there. And this was all, of course, it's predetermined. Regardless, he's risking himself. And the Giants, as an organization, should not have allowed him to be there to do this. Don't get involved in the action. That's a pro wrestler. He could seriously injure you more.
I could understand a little shove or whatever, or maybe he does the shoving, but they kind of shoved him back. I was very shocked to see him. He basically took a bump, almost a wrestling bump. But I was very shocked at that. I mean, he's out for the year. And this is his rookie year, so like that's a bad look. And God forbid something would have happened.
Yeah, I thought this was what they say bad optic, very bad. And, and you didn't hear anything about the Giants saying anything about it. Look, I'm not a Giant fan, neither were you. But I know there was a lot of Giant fans weren't happy about this. But anyway, this might develop into something going down the line. Maybe one of the PLEs for WWE, maybe could take it into WrestleMania. I don't know. Not with Scooteroo, as I call him. But maybe some of the Giants. I don't know. I don't know where this is headed, but I thought this was very bad. All right. Monday Night Raw also had a lot of surprises. Let's see, what are we going to roll here before we go into Survivor Series? What do you got next?
Dolph Ziggler made his return.
Ziggler returned. He's not committed to WWE again full time. It was a surprise, and Gunther defeated him to advance to get to Cena. So that was a surprise. What else we got? Survivor Series. This was announced. Nikki Bella, who's become the bad girl again, and Vicar for her title, and that's the women's title. And Bella's not going to win because she's not a full-timer. No. So that's Survivor Series coming up next Saturday night, Petco Park, San Diego, California. And AJ Lee finally returned after her feud with Becky Lynch and her husband, and of course CM Punk and Becky Lynch, and she's gunning now, and of course she wants Becky Lynch again. She caused Becky Lynch to lose the Women's Intercontinental title. Yes, she is. All right, and that's what's her name again? Was
I
there
forgot what her name is. That's really sad.
Maxine Dupree,
Maxine Dupree. Yes,
who
yes.
won't have that title for long. As I've heard and it's been explained, this was to set up more. And it's
Yeah,
just going to be a very brief title reign for her because Becky Lynch is in the picture more.
yeah.
Becky Lynch was very upset. We had a video, we're not showing it, where, it was all over social media. She's ranting and raving. She's heading to her attorney's office. She's appealing all this, and they'll probably have a rematch, and she'll get the title back. But that was a surprise, that her getting the title. All right, what do we got next?
That's it for the wrestling segment. I
I'm
believe.
going to talk.
We went, Cena. Yeah, we did Cena. and
Yeah, we did that, but I thought even the return, Brock Lesnar coming
Yeah,
into
we didn't
play
have a
at the
picture of
end,
it. Yeah, Brock Lesnar
right?
came.
Because the Survivor Series men's War Games match is set,
It's set
and
now,
and now you're gonna have Cody Rhodes, Jay and Jimmy Uso, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns, and they're gonna go against the other team. That we have
Braun Breaker, Braun
Breaker. Logan Paul, the other
Logan
Paul
Paul,
brother,
Brock,
and
and,
who and Lesnar. Paul Heyman, the Oracle, has developed quite a team without Seth Rollins. So, look, the Survivor Series looks like it's going to be a great one. You got a good War Games men's match and a good women's match as well, including Bliss and Charlotte Flair on one team. It looked like they were going to split, but maybe they'll split during that match.
They might,
I like
yeah.
that. I like that whole concept, though. It looks like it's going to be a good Survivor Series coming up in the next week, Tom. And WWE continues to be the, they're the ones we talk about because they do their storylines the way they are, and they get criticized for a lot of things. Triple H is holding his own as creative head. They keep doing it, and they keep making money, and they keep charging fans a lot of money.
They got like 3 different platforms.
Yeah. And
It's
Saturday, even Saturday main event on Peacock, and even NXT was at the Garden in the theater the next night. So and Ricky Starks, I wanted to see him. I've interviewed him once, and I wanted to see him because he's probably going to get to the big roster real soon. So. Tom, that's the wrestling report. There's a lot of rumors and a lot of things that are going on. Randy Orton's going to be more active. Guys are coming off the injured list, off the shelf. WWE is at full strength, no doubt about it, heading into Survivor Series. But that Scooteroo.
Oh, man.
And we'll recap. We'll go over the show more in detail. We're not going to be on next week with Thanksgiving, but we might do some YouTube shorts. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be an interesting Survivor Series. Any final thoughts on the wrestling, Tom?
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to Survivor Series. I think it's going to be a really good one. War Games. I always a fan of War Games. I like the setup that they do. I'm glad WWE kind of took over and kept that tradition that WCW started. So looking forward to War Games. I think they're going to have a traditional Survivor Series match as well with Sikoa, with Solo and the tag teams. I think they're going to have a traditional Survivor Series match too, which is pretty cool. When you get when you get pinned, you leave. The elimination style.
That's the way I like it.
Yeah.
But 2 rings and War Games, also I like that too. And they'll get bloody a little bit, but not as brutal as AEW does when they have 2 rings attached in their War Games type of matches. All right, Tom. That's the wrestling report this week on Keep It in Ring. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel on Tommy D Sports Talk, Spring Punk Entertainment. Like the Facebook page as well, and social media handles I have at the bottom of the screen, and that boxing calendar as well as we get into the end of the year coming soon with a lot of exciting fights. Tom, one final break. Come back with nostalgia and a few other things. We'll do that. We got to give a new sponsor some attention here at Keep It in the Ring live on my YouTube channel. I'm Rich. This is Tom. Back in a moment.
can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
I'm back. Rich, you there? We're back. Oh, I think you froze a little bit.
Is muted.
Okay, you're good. You're good now. You're good now.
I don't know. Why was my mic muted?
I'll get my video ready.
Did you do that purposely?
No, I didn't. I come on, man. I'm a professional. No, I had everything set up. I told you.
Well, you know, if that continues, I might become the new Scudero against you.
I'm setting up the video now. So.
All right, but yeah, we're gonna go to nostalgia. And by the way, what happened to the pizza commercial? Every time I watch it, I get hungry. I miss it.
You know, Scott said we got to play the new sponsor, so I didn't do the pizza one this week.
All right, when we get the pizza shop one, when we come on again live.
All right.
I want the pizza shop.
You got it.
Everyone knows I love pizza.
It's a good commercial, but then I mean, are you going to be able to get the pizza afterwards? I mean, I think
I'll make sure that sponsor delivers. You better believe that.
From New Jersey, I think.
Man. I don't care. Let them do it through DoorDash. I don't care.
Oh, man. Oh my God.
Free plug for DoorDash. Good job, Rich. Nostalgia time. Let's get to it. Let's get first to November 18th, 1970. Right? Is it Joe Frazier? Is that the one we have?
Yes, we do. That's Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier, first defense of his World Heavyweight Championship, knocked out Bob Foster in the second round in Detroit's Cobo Arena. He sent Foster to canvas early in the first round with a left hook to the jaw, and then another for the finish. 4 months prior to defeating Muhammad Ali, the Hall of Famer, late Muhammad Ali, the great heavyweight champ, in the fight of the century. So that goes back November 18, 1970. And now we have a brief video of November 20th, 1931. I love this because you got the black and white footage, the old video, the old rings, everything. Old school here. Tony Canzanosi defeats Kid Chocolate in a 15-round split decision, retaining the world lightweight, junior lightweight titles. Madison Square Garden, the old Garden, the first of their two fights. Tom, let's take a look at it. We can comment it as we go along. And take a look at Kid Chocolate because he had it all back at that time in 1931.
Yeah, Kid Chocolate. This was the first of two fights. They fought twice, and this was a 15-round fight, I believe, at lightweight, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right. For the lightweight, and then it was the junior lightweight titles as well.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it went 15 rounds, and it was a split decision victory for Tony Canzanarari. I can't say his name, Jesus.
No,
but he outweighed him by 5 pounds. So I think he weighed in at 132, and Kid Chocolate.
He weighed in at 132. He had been 130. If he had been 130, he would have been rewarded Chocolate's junior lightweight title and become the first 4-division champ in the sport. But that didn't happen. Many years later, others did that.
Yeah,
interesting.
This fight was supposed to be for the junior lightweight title, but like I said, he came in 2 pounds. He came in at 132, which is 2 pounds over. So the title wasn't on the line for him. So he would have been, I think, a 4-division world champion or something like that.
It would have been a 4-division champ. Yeah,
he would have been the first ever 4-division champ because at that time, 4-division world champ did not exist. So
of course, at that time, they only had one champion. They didn't have all the alphabet soup we have now.
Yeah. So
and again, 1931, November 20th, 1931, and Kid Chocolate and Tony Canzanari. And, I want you to look at the footage. I want everyone to see this and enjoy it as much as we are. The black and white vintage video, a classic right here. The different style of the ring, the different styles of how the fighters dressed in the ring for their fight, how they came in. The referee as well. And if you can get a look, you can see the ringside people at ringside. Mm-hmm. And if you notice, they're all wearing, the men are, jackets and ties.
Jackets and ties, back in 1930. One thing to notice, too, that I noticed immediately, the ring is really huge.
Yes, it is.
And they're fighting in a phone booth right now. I mean,
right.
And these are just the
Now,
highlights of the fight. It's just like a few minutes of just
right.
the straight highlights, but they're toe to toe here,
Yeah.
and look at the size of that ring. That ring is huge.
And look at how close they were fighting against each other. It was
Hmm.
like you said in the phone booth, and punch for punch, they went at it, and it was a friendly type of fight. There was no animosity back then. There animosity back in those days in boxing with fighters, and unlike today, because of course you didn't have social media and all this other stuff. No big entourages for the fighters as you have now going in the ring with them. Just classic. This is
Hmm.
old school. I love it.
Yeah, and I think the scoring was different too, but it was a split decision.
Yeah,
Two
you had,
judges had it
and
for
of
Tony,
course,
and one for
remember, scoring was different.
yeah,
The referee was a part of the scoring at the time, compared to 3 judges now, and 15 rounds, not 12 rounds, where
15 rounds.
championship rounds were. Yeah, so
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 and
many
then
differences.
the unofficial AP scorecard, was 8-5 to 2 for Tony. So that's the unofficial AP scorecard. So they gave two
And
draws, two rounds of
it's,
draw.
this is again at Madison Square Garden, which became the mecca of boxing, and here it is. You see that?
Yeah.
You don't see that today.
No, you
After a
don't.
fight, a guy got a top hat on, and there's no big entourage in the ring. There's
Look, they're
no
hugging and they're laughing.
ruckus. They're hugging. They're laughing, appreciating each other.
Yeah.
It was a great 15-round fight, and the first of their 2 fights, and at Madison Square Garden, the Mecca, where we don't have as many championship fights as we once was, but the Garden still gets some action here
Yeah.
in 2025. And I hear lining up still maybe Teofimo and Shakur at the Garden at the end of January, but no official word yet, Tom.
I'm hoping they announce it. Maybe they announce it Saturday. Maybe they
Maybe in
announce it
Saudi
tomorrow.
Arabia, yeah, maybe they'll do it then. Yeah. Great stuff, Tom. Thanks for loading that up. Nostalgia for the week. And so let's wrap up the program with a couple of notes here and take a look at this. My friend Ricky Ricardo, who WFAN Radio New York, Yankee Spanish language announcer, and the Eagles announcer on WIP in Spanish, Espanol, also does talk shows on both stations in New York. Very close to his mother. And I kept in touch with him all through the season and even afterwards about his mom. He knew it was inevitable that she would pass away. And he very much loved his mom, and you could see it. He tweeted out to his fans how much she loved the Yankees and the Eagles as much as her son did Ricky Ricardo. And our condolences. He's been a guest on our program, and he's a great friend, Tom. So I wanted to put that up, and again, condolences to Ricky Ricardo and his family on
Condolences
the
to Ricky,
passing
yeah.
to his mom. Okay, and this note before we put final things up that I have, I saw this, and this was interesting. 57-year-old Charlie Lagrasso, 57 years old. He's 3-0, the oldest fighter in New England history. Stopped 36-fight veteran Juan Zapata in the second round over the weekend light heavyweight contest, knocked down in the first round with a clean right and a cross in round 2. And this guy, 57 years old, says he's going to continue. He might be the oldest fighter on record next to Oliver McCall, who's doing some boxing down in Tennessee, continues. But he's the oldest fighter in New England history. It's quite an accomplishment. I don't have any footage of it or images of it, but I'd love to talk to him and say, how can a guy like me get back in the ring, which I know will never happen, though.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was great to see that note. And we end with this. I go into the vault again this week. I posted this on my social media, X at Ring786, Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso, and Instagram, Mancuso76. Tom, put those images up of the old fight credential. Now, Tom, you've come into this later on in the new school era. This is how the fight credential looked when we checked in and what we wore all the time.
Yeah.
We used to have the photos of the fighters, and at one point we had our photo on there, but they got away with that. And I
Hmm.
got one up there of Danny Jacobs, Quinlan, Peter Quinlan.
Peter
I
Quinn,
covered
another
that
kid
fight.
chocolate. Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
And what else I got? We got another one I put up
Thurman
there.
Porter.
Yeah, our friend Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. I forgot where that fight was. That was in Vegas, I think.
No, I think this is wasn't this wasn't in Brooklyn?
Or was it
Or maybe
Barclays?
it could be
Yeah.
in Vegas. I can't see. I can't
I've
remember.
done so many on Punch Drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thurman and Porter. And then I came up across this one. I got tons of them, and I'll show them as we go along in the weeks to come because I'm emptying out the vault. And
Okay.
that's Frampton and
Santa Cruz.
yeah. So
Yeah, that was a good
it's,
fight too.
yeah, so that goes back in the vault. Not too long ago, but that's how the fight credential looks. So if you see us covering fights, you boxing fans, and you come down, you go into a venue, an arena, you'll see. You won't see this no more. Instead, Tom, what they do now is they give you a wristband.
They give you a wristband now. Well, some people still use them. I think MVP still uses the credential. They use that. They have the big Netflix
Yeah.
MVP. So MVP is one of the few that still uses it. But yeah, usually it's the
You know,
wristband.
I asked top rank people that I'm very close to. And they were the first ones years ago with Don King to come out with this type of press credential look. And I asked them, why'd you get away with that? And even the PR, publicity people that do the credential process for the media today. And Top Rank's answer to me was, and they have a very good media department there, still strong. Evan Korn leads the team. It's cost effective for them because they make that. There's a lot of expense in putting these passes together with the fighter photos and your name on it and the whole bit. That's why they do it that way. But I got a lot of those in the vault, Tom, and perhaps I'll give you a whole bunch of them and do what you want with them.
I know Socrates has a few bunch too.
Yeah.
You know, Socrates.
So,
used to
but you
do-
take the wristband, you just want to take it off. It's like you're in a hospital ward.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like Top Rank or
This
know,
you can
we
keep
should
as a
promote
memento.
something.
And I've kept them all. I don't know how many I've got. I've kept them all.
Yeah.
A box is full of them. So I'm take them out. And some good fights that I've covered over the years in my 43-year career. And so I got a lot of them. So I'll keep showing them, as we
Okay.
go along. So I thought I'd show that this week. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And to all of you out there, that's coming up a week from tonight, why we won't be live next week. You all enjoy with your friends and family. And really enjoy it. And don't get into scuffles at the table. Just be good to each other, as I always say. And we'll probably return live. We will a week from next Thanksgiving, the Thursday after, because December, as we said, going to be very, very active as we end the year. It's been a year of boxing, that's for sure.
Yeah, big year. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family too, Rich.
Thank you.
Special shout out to Glenn Tapia. I mean, it's great to see Glenn Tapia looking good. Has all of his senses. To see his son on camera. Glenn Tapia. He's been in a lot of wars, a lot of big fights. He's given some beatings and taken some at the same time. So it's great to see him. So God bless him and his family as well. I look forward to talking to him as well. It was a great sight to see him. He
He
looked
was
good.
great.
And to see his son too. That was pretty cool.
It was nice to have, and it was nice to see Glenn still got his mental capacities
Yes.
and wants to stay in touch, and he will. And we wish him all the best in his retirement now from the ring.
Yeah.
And I don't know when I'm going to retire, but it's going to come soon.
Yeah, no, but I mean, going back to Glenn, he's a champion. He's a champion in life to come from where he came from, and he told basically, from the streets and to the boxing game. So he won at life, and he's continuing to win at life, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
So, Tom, how do fans reach you when you're not on here with me every week?
You can catch me tomorrow, usually Fridays, and we're doing on YouTube TD Sports Talk, and sometimes Sunday where we do Tales from the B side. Last week we had a great one. We had Hannah Gabriel. That was a really great show. So you can catch me here on TD Sports Talk, and also on Sundays Ring Talk Worldwide with Pedro Fernandez. On Sports Byline. So.
I don't know where to keep up with you, where to find you, but you're around. Just go on YouTube. It's Tommy D. That's it. And we'll probably do some shorts during the week before Thanksgiving and after. Give our opinions about the fight card of the year that many are talking about this Saturday in Saudi Arabia. 4 title fights headlined by Benavidez and Yardy. And I'm really looking forward to, again, that fight with Norman and Devin Haney for that title. So
Yeah,
it'll be a good weekend. It'll be, so we'll talk about that. And also, you've got AEW Full Gear and a lot of other stuff going on. And once again, everyone, thank you for watching, putting up with me and Tom this week live. And we enjoyed it. We always enjoy doing this each and every week. Tommy D, when I got to be thankful, I'm thankful I got you as a colleague and friend. I really do.
That. I'm thankful for you too, Rich.
Yeah,
I learned a lot from you, and I continue to learn. And I just getting my feet wet into this media world, if you want to call it. So,
so
you and Pedro Fernandez have been great mentors.
Well, us old school guys know what to do with you young school guys. That's for sure. And you're good at it, and you'll continue to be. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Enjoy with friends and family. Always keep in touch. My social media, X, Ring786, Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso. Also at Instagram, Mancuso786, and of course, Latinosports.com and other outlets I write for. And we'll be in touch. Stay in touch. We'll tell you where we're going to be. And as always, keep well, be good to each other, and God bless. And for this week's edition of Keep It in the Ring, which was a great one, thank you. And as always, Tom, what do we say?
Keep it in the ring.
Keep it in the ring, everyone. Till next time, God bless. Thank you.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.